What's going on, you guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video, and here I am with one that I've wanted to do for a while, and it's on 10 players in the NFL right now who are really overhated. So, before this video does get started, like it if you enjoy, as it really helps out the channel, and also make sure to subscribe if you guys are new and enjoy this type of content, so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit our goal, I'm finally gonna do a face reveal. But with that being said, let's get this video started. And the first player I want to talk about is Tua Tagovailo. And now, I did a video on why he's overhated before, so go ahead and check that out. A card to that should be popping up right about now, but I'm going to try and make this kind of short. But Tua Tagovailo, first off, his rookie season was not as bad as some people say it was. It was okay. Not horrible, okay? Second off, stop writing him off already. He played 1 year in the NFL, and you can't call a rookie a bust after just 1 year. You gotta give them some time to develop. Some guys are just gonna take some time to get used to the NFL. Along with that, the final part, look at the obstacles he had to face. He had a devastating injury at Alabama. He had an offseason with very little in-person activities. He had bad development. Miami did not develop him well. He had a bad supporting cast and an offensive system not built for him, alright? I go more in depth in the video, so go ahead and check it out after this one. But Tua Tagovailo, extremely overhated. But at number 2, we got Derek Carr. Derek Carr, he's had his struggles in the past, I got to admit that. However, people a lot of times use those old narratives and his struggles in the past to really just determine how good he is right now, and personally, I think that's extremely stupid, okay? Derek Carr has improved a lot since then, and he's consistently thrown for nearly 4,000 yards and over 25 touchdowns a season. And what makes it that even more impressive is that his weapons have never been elite. Have they been the worst in the world? Hell no, they haven't been the worst in the world, but at the same time, it's not like they're elite, and Derek Carr, he's a really good quarterback. Is he elite? No, but he is a borderline Pro Bowl quarterback in my opinion, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's coming off a career season in 2020, and for some goddamn reason, people blame him for the Raiders' struggles when he's clearly not the issue, right? The offense in Vegas is not the reason for their struggles, okay? The reason why they struggle in the end of the season, the reason why they cannot make it to the playoffs is their defense. Their defense is an absolute joke, and I really do hope they can improve that defense, because if they can, Derek Carr may finally get the respect he deserves. But simply put, Derek Carr gets so much hate for no damn reason at all. At number 3, we got Baker Mayfield. I want to try and keep this short as well, because why is Baker Mayfield being doubted as a franchise quarterback? I'm sorry, I simply do not get it. Am I missing something here? Baker Mayfield has clearly proved he's the guy in Cleveland, alright? Although he had his struggles, earlier on in his career, like his sophomore season and, in the first half of this season, Baker Mayfield has really improved since then, and Baker Mayfield is clearly a franchise quarterback. He's already one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL, and people gotta stop using these, stop spewing out this stop acting like he's terrible, and stop using these old narratives to determine how good he is now. So that's kind of all I have to say for Baker Mayfield. I wanted to keep that one kind of short. But at number 4, we're going to gravitate away from quarterbacks for now, and we got Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams, in my opinion, he had a pretty good season overall. He was great for stopping the run. He was amazing stopping, not stopping the passer, but, rushing the passer is the right word. However, his pass coverage, it was hilariously bad. I got to admit that, and I'll admit I do find a lot of the memes of Jamal Adams' coverage ability pretty hilarious. However, I've seen people unironically say he is not a top 5 safety in the NFL and stuff like that, and I've seen people say John Johnson is better. John Johnson's a great player, and I like the guy a lot. However, he's not better than Jamal Adams. Second off, Jamal Adams is clearly a top 5 safety, alright? Was his pass coverage pretty bad this season? Yes, it was. However, when you look at his ability to stop the run and, rush the passer, it was so damn good that it really alleviates the impact that the pass coverage has. Now, the pass coverage, I will admit, has a big enough impact to the point where, there's a lot of doubts about whether he's really the number one best safety in the NFL, but he's still one of the best safeties in the NFL, and I'd take him over a lot of guys. Is his coverage very good? Well, I'll admit, when he's playing at his best, it's not better than, some of these other guys, but he is an amazing run stopper, and he's great at rushing the passer, and people really got to look at that and, really appreciate his greatness when it comes to the run stopping and pass rushing department. And overall, Jamal Adams is a great player, and I kind of do hope that he does bounce back in 2021. At number 5, we got Cam Newton. Now I'm going to try and make this a little bit short since there's a good chance that I do go, make this a little bit longer. But Cam Newton, I think he's overhated as a person and a player. Going off his 2020 season, look, I'll admit he was not good, but at the same time, look at his circumstances. He had a really short off season to learn the playbook and system, and the system and playbook and system, they are very complicated, so that's not a very good thing at all. And along with that, the weapons he had were extremely bad. I'm sorry, if Jacoby Myers is your only consistent receiving option, that is not a good thing. I love Jacoby Myers, but that's just not a good thing. And along with that, he was playing well before he got the virus, and the virus, I feel like, just messed it all up because he could not learn the system. Well, I mean, it really just hindered his ability to learn the system. It's complicated, and the Patriots, they don't exactly wait for you to learn the system. They're going to they're going to go on and move on without you. If they don't really care, they're going to move on without you. And that, Cam Newton was kind of just catching up, and he did a great interview with I Am Athlete, and I Am Athlete, the podcast. It was great. It was a really good episode. I highly recommend that you do go ahead and check it out. And then, as a player, he is extremely overhated as well. People call him a diva and a locker room cancer because he dances or does his Superman celebration after he scores a touchdown. Look, if you really think that, you're soft and you're extremely stupid, alright? Name one player in the league who does not celebrate after they score a touchdown. I'll wait. You can go ahead and pause this video, and you can go ahead and, type it in the comment section below. Yeah, you probably can't name anyone, and even if you can, it probably took you some time. And the point is, almost everyone celebrates after they score a touchdown, but I don't want to make this segment too long. And going on to number 6, we got Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is like Derek Carr, alright? He can do anything, and people are still gonna hate him no matter what, and they're just gonna go hunting for the bad moments and say, oh, he did this, oh yeah, he cannot be a franchise quarterback, or he's a bad player, alright? Kirk Cousins, he does have some bad things, some downsides to him, and he does have his issues, I have to admit that. However, Kirk Cousins is not a bad player overall. Overall, Kirk Cousins, I think he's a pretty good player. Now, was he bad to start out the 2020 season? Hell yes. Was he good to end the 2020 season? Hell yes. Did he have a good overall 2020 season? Hell yes. Kirk Cousins was pretty good overall in 2020. However, people only want to focus on the bad parts of it. He had over 4,000 passing yards and 35 touchdowns in 2020. I'm sorry. Bad quarterbacks just simply do not put up those kinds of numbers, alright? No matter how many times we pass the ball, they just simply do not put up those types of numbers. And call him a game manager all you want. I do think it's fair to call him a game manager. However, at the same time, if he is one, he's one of the best game managers in the league then, and he's one of the, best versions of a game manager you're gonna get out there. And Kirk Cousins, overall, he's a pretty good player, and people gotta stop, just only focusing on the negative parts of him, and also focus on the positive things about him. And like Derek Carr, they're very similar players. They're extremely overhated, and no matter what they do, everyone's just gonna overhate them. But at number 7, we got Lamar Jackson. Now, if you joke about, the running back stuff, okay, I get that. I can always appreciate a good joke. However, if you unironically think that Lamar Jackson is a running back, you're an idiot. I don't know how else to put it besides, you're an idiot. Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Was he as good as his 2019 self in 2020? No, he was not, but he was still pretty good in 2020. And if you don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, I'm sorry to I hate to break it to you, but you're an idiot. He may not be an elite passer, but that kind of naturally comes when you're, a mobile quarterback. He may not be an elite passer like Aaron Rodgers, but he's still a pretty good quarterback. And why the hell do you think they have him at quarterback? Because he can throw the ball pretty well. If he couldn't throw the ball pretty well, he would have been a running back this whole time, If someone asked me who I'd trust to make a game-winning throw, Nathan Peterman or Derrick Henry, give me Nathan Peterman all day, every single day of the year. Lamar Jackson, people gotta stop calling him a running back, alright? If you think he's a running back simply because he's good at running the football, you're an idiot. But going on to number 8, we got Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, he's one of the best receivers in the NFL, and he has been for a while, and naturally that will get him a lot of hate. However, some people think he's trash simply because he runs a lot of slant routes, alright? Again, if you're joking, okay, I'm okay with that. I mean, I can always appreciate a good joke. However, if you really think Michael Thomas is a bad player, you're an absolute idiot. He does run a lot of slant routes, I gotta admit that. However, bad players simply just do not put up over 1.1k receiving yards for 4 straight seasons. They simply just do not do that, alright? He is a top 5 to 6 receiver when healthy, and he is not a bad player at all. Does he run a lot of slant routes, as I said before? Yes, he does, but he's great at working the middle of the field and doing the short to intermediate stuff, you know? And it's not completely his fault. The offensive coordinator, the guys designing the plays, they're the ones who have Michael Thomas run the slant routes. You can't exactly change that, you know? And along with that, if he's good at running those routes, why the hell would they not do it, you know? They don't give a damn that these haters are doing this stuff, doing stuff like this. Michael Thomas, people gotta stop thinking he's trash simply because he runs a lot of slant routes. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL, and if you think otherwise, you know nothing about football. But at number 9, we got Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger, I gotta admit, he was not good to end the 2020 season. However, he is not as bad as some people say he is. Big Ben is an average game manager at this point in his career, and he's still a starting caliber quarterback. He's not the whole reason why the Steelers struggled at the end of the year either. Now, was he a reason? I think he was part of the problem because his play certainly did not help. However, when you look at all of the things, you know, that contributed to the Pittsburgh Steelers' downfall, he was not the whole reason. First off, the wide receivers had a bad habit of dropping passes, and that's not his fault at all. So, I mean, that didn't help at all. The offensive line was not very good. They didn't give up a lot of sacks. However, the Steelers' offensive system really helped hide that. Along with that, the run game was not good, so he essentially had to carry the offense, and if your 39-year-old quarterback has to carry the offense, that's not a very good thing, unless it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or one of those players. But Ben Roethlisberger is not Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, alright? Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, even then, you can't really blame, I mean, to put it simply, Ben Roethlisberger is not one of those guys, and I mean, you can't exactly blame him for not being able to carry an offense at this age. And along with that, the offensive coordinator was not good. The Steelers' offense was so predictable, and teams were eventually able to key in on what the Steelers were doing, and then eventually they were able to stop it. And I mean, how is that his fault? He's not the one designing the plays. He can't exactly, you know, go up to the offensive coordinator and say, hey, this is all trash and all. He has to essentially do what the offensive coordinator tells him to do. And I feel like a lot of people, I mean, he's just not as bad as some people say he is, and I think he's overrated when it comes to, you know, the Steelers' issues in 2020 and their downfall. Now, as a person, I hate Ben Roethlisberger, but as a player, I think he's overrated. But going on to the final player, we got Drew Lock. Now, I know this might be unpopular, but I really feel like he gets too much hate. Was he bad last season? Hell yes. Even as a Drew Lock believer, there is no denying he was absolutely horrible. But however, I'm not ready to give up on him, alright? He's played 2 years in the NFL, and you have to let young guys develop and give them at least 3 years. Drew Lock has all the tools to be a good NFL quarterback. He just needs to improve his decision making in the mental side of the game, and he can 100% improve that. That is one thing that you can easily improve. And he's training with Peyton Manning. He was training with Peyton Manning this offseason. If you can do that, if you get the opportunity to learn from Peyton Manning, I definitely think your decision making should be able to improve. And keep in mind, let's not forget how good he was in his rookie season, you know? I mean, his rookie season was really good, and people genuinely thought he could be a franchise quarterback, and they didn't think that for no reason. In the sophomore slump, it's really common. It happens to all sorts of, a lot of good players, you know? Remember last year when people said, a year ago, like when people said, oh, Baker Mayfield can't be a franchise quarterback. Look at how bad he was in his sophomore season. Well, guess what? He improved a lot. He had a good rookie season, he suffered a sophomore slump, but after that, he picked it right up, and I do think Drew Lock should be given that chance, and I really do like to see the Broncos giving him a chance, and I really like to see it as someone who does believe in young quarterbacks, and someone who is a big fan of giving people like second chances. But that's kind of all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Like if you enjoy, as it really helps out the channel, and also make sure to subscribe if you guys are new and enjoy this type of content, so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit our goal, I'm finally gonna do a face reveal. But with that being said, I'm out, you guys.